Hey everybody, Brendan Fetters here in Raleigh, North Carolina, instructional coach at the middle school level, here for a vlog. Now I gotta admit, it's been almost a full year since I last did my first and last vlog, sorry. I've got to give some props to some dear friends of mine, Miss Leslie Kennard in Guilford County Schools in the Greensboro area, and Mr. Phil Eccles here in our a district peer of mine here in Wake County Public Schools in our Office of Professional Development, who have really encouraged me to get back onto um, the vlogging sphere, if you will. I've already ramped up my blogging the last year here, especially since November on the blogging, but I have slacked on the vlogging until today. It all switches. So thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Phil, for the inspiration. You matter and the world needs your contributions, as Angela Myers would say. We recently had our spring break. And during that spring break, I had plenty of time to relax, reflect, rejuvenate, recharge, etc., but I also had time to read some great materials, and I wanted to reread materials today. I've got a lot of books that are on my to-do list, but there were 3 books that I wanted to reread because it'd been 4 or 5 years since I'd really dived into those books and have some great material. First one, classic, Ron Clark's Essential 55. Every teacher, anybody that's in the school level, any level, elementary, middle, high, regardless of your capacity, district administrators, to keep a lens on what's going on at the building level, this book is truly essential. Great stuff in here. It's a little bit dated in terms of some of the wording and some of the things going on in this book in terms of style-wise, but you can still tweak it for today's classroom. Good stuff. Ron Clark is the man. All right, next one, QBQ. Love this book. One of my favorite books in general, regardless of, it's not specifically towards education in any way, shape, or form. It is a leadership book. It's QBQ. It's a real quick question behind the question. John Miller is awesome. He's pretty active on Twitter at QBQ Guy. I've reached out to him several times myself for some ideas, suggestions. He also has some focus links on his website, extra materials you can reach out to for extra assistance, and basically it's just making this the best out of any situation, going above and beyond, not really questioning it, not questioning the actual tweaking that actual question I should say that you may have about, why am I doing something, but okay, but how have I really tried to do the situation, things of that nature, to try to get back into the to make the best of it. This will change your outlook on life. It has for me, and this is actually the 3rd time I read this book. It's just phenomenal. Like, for example, in the back, why do you go through all this change? Instead of saying that, why are we going through all this change? Change. How can we adapt to the changing world? And this is my 12th year in education, and I say it all the time. The way I view a classroom now is a far cry from the way I entered the classroom my first year of teaching, way back when. Okay, the way we see a classroom now is way different than when I used to go into my mom's classroom when I was little to help her set up in her high school classroom. As a young child, they're totally different. We're totally adapting. We see that with the way the classroom, that make up with the classroom, the way we construct our lessons, because our learners are totally different today. So we have to constantly evolve, and this book will hit us and get you going in that right direction on that one. Next reread book. I've actually read this book twice in the last 4 months now. The man, George Couros, Innovator's Mindset. Love this book. I'm fortunate to work at the only one-to-one school in our district right now, and we have a lot of innovation going on here. This book fits right into a lot of the innovation we have going on, not only at my school, but within our district and in education in general. Changing that mindset into an innovator's mindset, changing our thinking. How are things changing, and like kind of springboarding off what I just talked about into QBQ. Same thing. Good stuff here. If you've not read this yet, It is phenomenal. And it also gives several plugs in here to my dear friend, Mr. Bill Farrader, who's also in Wake County Public Schools. Another plug for our district, but we do have some good things going on here, if I have to say so myself. Okay, so reread those 3 books. Oh my goodness. Also ordered 3 books that I needed that I'm excited to read here in the next month or 2 to start reading. It's the only question is, which one am I going to read first? But I want to share them with you because I'm kind of a nerd like that. First one, Leader in Me. I'm actually at a Leader in Me school now, and I've not read this book. I've read the 7 Habits book several times, but I've not read The Leader in Me. I'm also excited about it because this is what one of our focuses of our magnet theme is at my school, and also because, oh gosh, another Wake County Public Schools plug, but it's co-written by the great Mariel Summers, one of our district leaders in our school. She's a phenomenal principal in our district. So I got that one. And years ago, one of my great heroes in education, Mr. Chaz Miller, who's now in Seattle, Washington, gave me the original Lincoln on Leadership book, one of the greatest books I've ever read. And it came out about 10, 15 years ago probably, and the author, Mr. Donald Phillips, recently released an updated version. I'm so excited. It's Lincoln on Leadership for today. It just came out in February or March, I believe. So it's new. This came in just a few days ago. I'm super stoked about this. Definitely, this is probably next on my to-do list because the original Lincoln on Leadership is one of my all-time favorites. Lincoln is such a genius beyond what he did as president. Oh my gosh, if you've not read some of the historical amazing things that he did leadership-wise and just how he conducted himself on a day-to-day basis, this is phenomenal. So the original was phenomenal. I can't wait to read this. This is some good stuff. I know it's going to be. And last one, I finally caved and joined the pirate crowd, y'all. Oh my goodness. Lead Like a Pirate. Shelley Burgess and Beth Huff. About a month or 2 ago, they were guests on George Corliss's IMOOC podcast. When I heard them speak, talk about what this book's about and what's going on, I had to get this book. I'm like, you know what? These guys sold me. They're good salesmen. They're genuine. I like them. I like Dave Burgess's work. What I see on Twitter. I'm going to read this one for my first jump into the Pirate series, so I picked this one up as well. So those are some books that I read, some books that I'm planning to read if I can stack these up properly. And again, thanks for checking this out. You can always reach me on Twitter at Brendan Fetters, BrendanFetters, and I'm also blogging which is brendanfetters.com. So check me out there, and hope you check out some of those books, and hope you are doing well.